So, can you please give a huge round of applause as we welcome Thomas Wilde? Okay, mate. Let me know when you're comfortable and ready, and we'll kick this off.
They're all excited about bread. Come on, let's do it.
Guys, we've got to be excited about bread for this. Yes!
Are you gluten intolerant? No! Get out if you are. Right. Here we go. Hi, I'm Thomas Wilde. This is a scientific introduction to bread. What you don't know, it is a lecture. I do have a laser pointer. We are going to go through this. And I did bake that loaf of bread. I knew you'd be disappointed. Thanks for that. Doing a world of good for my confidence. Let's talk about it. Let's which one eats grass? Is it that sexy human being that represents all human life, or this cow that is eating grass? Shout out for cow! Yeah. Expecting more? Shout out for sexy human? Well, it's both of us. And not in this weird, sexy face cow hybrid form. No, we both have our own separate ways of eating grass. Two different pathways. I'm going to go through them, don't worry. Let's start off with cow. Let's do cow. Boom. Cows are ruminants. They eat grass. They eat grass, they chew grass, they swallow grass, and then they mix that grass in the stomach with enzymes and bacteria, and then they throw it up into their mouths and chew it some more to make the cud. And then they swallow that to give it high surface area. This high surface area then gives access to the cell walls, which are made of cellulose, thank you. And these then are broken down by enzymes, which liberate glucose. So that's how the cow gets its energy supply, from this glucose. I said that we eat grass. Can anyone name their favourite type of grass? Right. That is fucking gross. No, that's the wrong answer. But you are kind of right. We eat the seeds of grass, not grass itself. So we use technology to get around this problem. So we kind of mimic the cow. We have a grinding mechanism to make flour. We mix that flour with water and yeast, and we ferment it, and then we bake the products to make bread. But that's quite advanced. How did we first come about bread? Well, we found wild wheat. We then took this wheat, we mashed it up with water to make delicious gruel. And hipsters out there, you can pair it with berries if you wish. But I want to make bread. To make bread, I've got to ferment it. So this naturally happened with the bacteria, the yeast in the air, which would grow in it, and it started to bubble. So then someone had the great idea, roughly around 6,000 years ago, to bake it, and it was delicious-ish. So that's how we came across bread, but I keep using the word fermentation. What the fuck is it? Paul Hollywood talks about it a lot. I don't think he knows what it is. Bakers use it, brewers use it, people make pickles use it, and I'm going to tell you what it is, with the help of a little someone, and it's Paul! Cheers, Paul. So I asked Paul, I said, Paul, how does fermentation work? He said, I'll look it up. He said, it's starch, and starch breaks down naturally with enzymes in flour, and we liberate glucose, kind of familiar story, and that feeds yeast. But that's not quite fermentation. What are the products of it? So we get, for brewers, we get ethanol, alcohol in our beer, and then we get CO2, and that's what gives our bread rise. That's what makes it delicious, really. Also, it carbonates our drink. Right, here's a big debate. Which is better for us, brown bread or white bread? Shout out for brown. It's kind of obvious. Shout out for white. Enemies of quality. Anyway, so it's definitely brown, but not for the reasons you think. If you eat white bread, you might get pellagra, which is sexy. It's also because of a lack of vitamin B3 or niacin. So, as beautiful as that is, why does white bread cause this in essence? Well, whole wheat, shockingly, uses the whole of the wheat. It's got the germ and the bran, and the germ has all the nutrients like your niacin and stuff, and it's got your roughage, and white bread is just nutritionally barren. It's rubbish. Right, but why don't we get ill from white bread? That's because we fortify it. We use iron, niacin, thiamine, and that kind of makes it healthy-ish. Then we had some shit, and then we had loads of gluten, and everyone knows gluten's a fucking enemy, so they're really fucking up for us. But what is gluten? Gluten is a protein in green. Blue and red make green. There you go. So with glutenin and gliadin are two proteins that bond together to form this strand of gluten, and it's the body of bread. So when we make bread, we mix flour and water together, and we get a mess of gluten. So we have to knead it. We knead it out, stretching the proteins to form a nice pliable dough. This dough is really important because we want to trap the CO2 that fermentation brings. So if we was to bake it without fermenting it and without gluten, it'd just be a solid mass. So it gives us a nice, airy, delicious product, if you like bread. So what did we learn? We learned that humans eat grass as well as cows, obvious. Whole wheat is better for you, and gluten intolerance is bullshit. Thank you.
That was wild, everyone! Woo! Oh, hang on, hang on. Have you got any more fun bread facts for us?
Yeah, if anyone got any questions on bread?
Oh yeah, let's do a bread Q&A.
Yeah, go on.
We've got our expert here.
Come on, everyone's got to have a burning bread question, surely. You eat it every day.
Well, while people are thinking, I also like, Tom, how you've brought your own little beef thing.
Yeah, I nicked it from work, if I'm honest.
He wasn't kidding when it was a lecture as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know, though, that 1 in 100 people is a celiac?
Yeah. Yeah, I did know. And we call that, we say that they've got celiac disease, and the rest are just whingers. They just whinge and say,
you got to cook the wheat through the chaff, though, haven't you?
Now they say, they go, oh, I had gluten, it made me really ill. Wanted that night out that you had? Nah, it was definitely the bread. That's kind of it.
You kind of forget that there's gluten in beer as well, don't you? Like,
yeah.
That's how you catch them out, isn't it? That's how you catch them out.
Yeah, it's the same with people with, when they have a Chinese and they say it gives them headache because it's full of MSG. It's like, well, so is Italian food, that's why you like it. Parmesan cheese is actually just loaded with MSG, and it's actually crunchy with MSG. So anyone that goes, oh, I have a Chinese and got an headache, take them out for an Italian and they say nothing, just fucking get them. Just get them.
So you've done eggs. Last thing was eggs. You've done bread.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
I don't know, maybe.
What's what will complete the trilogy of the Thomas Wilde food lectures?
It kind of feels like a continental breakfast at the moment, so maybe cured meat or something.
Cured meat? Yeah, I think that's it. Cured meat. Right, stay tuned for that. Thanks so much, mate.
Cheers.
Hey.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you can see others on the Bettakultcha YouTube channel. Subscribe now and you'll be notified when new ones are uploaded.